Today, he is Director of Program Development for the Fusion Performance Group, a company that develops training courses for the financial industry on how to increase sales and improve customer service relationships. But back in 1984 at the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, Kevin Neufeld was part of Canada's gold medal winning men's 8 rowing team. In part 2 of a 2-part interview, Kevin recalls the gold medal race and the satisfaction at beating their main rivals, the United States.
Well, the final, we were in the middle of the pack. Strong favorite, you could say, was the United States. They had been racing in Europe earlier that season and had been kicking everybody's butt. They had just been dominating every race all season long. Nobody could come close to them. We knew we were fast because we had raced the U.S. once in Switzerland. We raced them twice and we beat them one of the times. So we knew we could go with them. But I think they just felt it was a fluke. For whatever reason, I think they just underestimated us. And we were a very fast starting crew. So we didn't really have a complicated strategy other than to get out in front and stay there. That's more or less what we did. We got out in front, and we kind of knew that they would be underrating us. When we got out in the middle of the race, when typically crews start to get reeled in once they get a bit of a lead, our strategy was simply to put the hammer down and take as much of a lead as we possibly can. And we would have to expend a great deal of energy in the middle of the race to do that, but that was a risk we were going to take. And, in hindsight, it totally paid off because psychologically it threw a lot of the other crews, especially the Americans, for a bit of a loop. So middle of the race, all of a sudden, we're way further out than they thought we were. We were winning by almost an open water, which is a full boat length. That's a huge lead. And we were winning by that heading into the last 500 meters. They scrambled. They got a little flustered. Now, at the same time, we're running out of gas. Everybody's in shape, and you've only got so much energy to expend. We just expended ours a little early, that's all. So we're hanging on, absolutely hanging on at the end. And they came back on us strong, but we hung on. We crossed the line first by about a deck, which is about 3 feet. At that point, you're completely wasted. And so to really kind of know whether you won, I think a couple guys did. You sort of think that you got it, but you don't, well, we weren't sure, right? So I remember that was one of the first things I did. There was this guy, a couple people, emergency crews, I guess, in Zodiacs, and I looked at the one guy, and I asked him, I said, who won? Kind of looked at us and gave me the thumbs up. He said, you guys. Even more so than the medal ceremony, it was that moment that was probably the most special. It's just an incredible feeling of satisfaction, and I looked around at all the crews and I thought, man, we beat the best the world had to offer.